What's crackalacking, people? Been a while again, sorry. I've been on a much needed holiday with the family, and I've had a busy year, to be fair, with my new role in my job and having to travel for it. But I believe that's all my traveling out of the way until Christmas, so you have my full attention once again. I'm super pumped, to get this channel moving. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be firing up plenty of content and making a few changes. So I hope you all stick around for that. Anyway, I've got a good general discussion lined up for you soon. But to get my feet back in the water, let's have a quick chat about some of the news that popped up whilst I was away. And what better way to start off than to hate on Sony and their recent reveal that they are planning to up the price on PlayStation Plus again at the end of August in Europe by a whopping 25%. Those filthy, money-hungry hounds. But you know what? It'll bite them back in the ass one day, I can tell you that much. Now, as Europeans, and soon to be former Europeans, will be forced to pay £49.99 a year. I think that's around $65 a year, or whatever. And for what? Some online multiplayer and some trash monthly, not really free games. I've had my PlayStation 4 for nearly 3 years now, and it's honestly one of the dullest consoles I've ever owned. With a dull library of games to boot. Save for the odd few red exceptions, of course. And I haven't been subscribed to PlayStation Plus for a very, very long time. After playing Destiny when that first came out with some friends, and quickly realizing that the end game rinse and repeat nature of that game was an absolute bore fest for me, I had no reason to stay subscribed, and really I never will again. But this is our faults, right? We fed the Microsoft Xbox 360 machine and showed the industry that we were willing to pay for online gaming, and look where it has gotten us now. Well, call me a fool, but not the fool who follows, as I refused to pay for an online subscription to these systems unless they offer something far more compelling than what's currently on offer now. And that even goes to Nintendo, when once their online stops being free, it better be worth it. Although we know their subscription is vastly cheaper than the competition's, but still, the service needs to be there. Where is the new Miiverse? Honestly, I'd be more than happy to pay for another Miiverse, more improved Miiverse, because Miiverse was great. And sticking with the big N, let's talk about Amiibo for a second. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with Amiibo. I love how they're designed, and I even enjoy some of their functionality, but I also hate how it's a mission to try and secure the ones you want, and how Nintendo are still seemingly incapable of understanding supply and demand with these things. But that's a rant for another day. What I want to quickly talk about today is the recent press release on what the functionality of the new and old Metroid-related Amiibo will bring to Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS when it comes out in September, I believe. Now, Nintendo have been, I feel, quite unsure on where to take Amiibo. They've had some good ideas and some bad ideas, but right now I feel the direction they are going in is bad at the moment. I don't mind some content being locked behind these things. That's essentially what they were for in a way. A few exclusive costumes, here and there, a pet wolf here and there. But, when they start locking hard modes, soundtracks and art galleries behind these things, we start to get the feeling of, not of DLC, but of, let's get them for every penny we can with stuff that used to be free in games. That's how it's starting to feel a little bit. I've ranted many times in the past about full retail games being premium products. We buy at full price. This is why we pay premium prices for them, because we expect a premium product. But when companies start doing stuff like this, they need to be careful. And most of all, we need to be careful. Like PlayStation Plus, once you start feeding the machine, anything is game. And as we as the players, we suffer. And what's that? Yes, of course, I've already pre-ordered those new Metroid Amiibo. Look at them. You get a squidgy Metroid. But from this point onwards, I swear I'll be thinking long and hard about whether I want to buy any more Amiibos. That's right after I've bought these for the greatest game ever made. And finally, let's talk about Crapcom. The Switch is a success. Hooray! As if no one didn't see that coming. A compelling device with great advertising and compelling software. And here we are with Crapcom, stunned at the success of a port of Street Fighter 2 on a Nintendo system, the very same ecosystem that made Street Fighter a household name, all because Nintendo created shoulder buttons on this bad boy. I said before that Street Fighter is coming home when it was announced on the Switch, and I'm very pleased to see that the game has sold well. I was quick to fire my initial hate to Crapcom when that first news story about them surfaced about them only supposedly supporting the Switch if Street Fighter 2 does well. But as we know, that was a mistranslation, something I guessed at in my first tweet about the news. But here we are today, and Street Fighter 2 has sold near 500,000 units on the Nintendo Switch. That the Nintendo Switch, that awesome local multiplayer Nintendo system that's perfect for the Street Fighter game. It's just a shame that Crapcom sold Street Fighter 5 to Sony, who honestly couldn't give a crap about the game. From what I've seen, Sony, the great publisher. Yeah, right. Perhaps back in the 90s, people, but not anymore. Street Fighter 5 looks like it's stuck on the PlayStation 4, so we'll probably never see a version on the Nintendo Switch. Although that's probably not a bad thing, considering how trash that game is as a premium product. Or I don't know what it's like now because I don't care about it, but when it first launched, it was a bag of ass. Now, Crapcom have finally come out and said that they are planning a number of other titles for the Switch, as if they feel confident now that their games will sell on this system. Third parties today, honestly, most of them drive me mad. All I'm going to say, people, is don't get your hopes up just yet. I, for one, am expecting more older ports of crap we've already played before. But hey, if I'm wrong, then no loss for me and no loss for you. What should Capcom, I feel, should be what should they be working on? And, as well as Nintendo, even publishing or pushing, for new versions of those IPs that made Capcom famous on Nintendo machines in the first place. Games like Mega Man, whose design is Smash Bros. Wii U, should not go to waste. How about a new Final Fight, which once again was arguably the best 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up on the SNES, and would be ideal for local multiplayer on the Switch. And how about a new Ghosts and Goblins? With games like Shovel Knight selling very well on Nintendo platforms, and the return of classics like Bomberman, which once again has sold very well on the Nintendo Switch, the time is now to bring back these classics that made Capcom famous and Nintendo's systems shine even more. But anyway, that's a wrap for today. I feel, as always, I appreciate all your time, and please feel free to chirp away in the comment sections below. Let me hear your thoughts on the topics I've discussed just now. And yeah, cheers all, peace.